Our highways, they're really the arteries of our nation. And trucks, they're the lifeblood, moving everything, everywhere, every single day. But with that incredible power comes an immense responsibility for safety. So what happens when that system breaks down? Today, we're going to take a hard look at a tragedy that should have never happened and the critical wake-up call that followed. Just picture it, November 2023, I-70 in Ohio. For most people, it was just another Tuesday. But for 6 people, it was their last day. 3 of them were high school students, full of potential, on their way to a conference. Their journey ended right there, in a horrific, fiery crash. This isn't just a news story we're talking about. This is about lives cut short, a community completely shattered. It's a gut-punch reminder of the human cost of a single moment of failure on the road. And that's a quote from the head of the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB. They're the ones who investigate these disasters, and her words, they hit hard. This wasn't some random accident. It wasn't just bad luck. It was, and this is the key word here, preventable. That one word changes everything. So that's what we're here to do, to understand exactly how this happened, and more importantly, what we can do to make sure it never, ever happens again. All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start with the tragedy itself on I-70. Then we're going to dig into the NTSB's official findings and the trail of red flags they uncovered. After that, we'll look at the tech that could have changed everything and why a real culture of safety is so crucial. And we'll wrap up with what this means for the road ahead in trucking.
Okay, first things first. To really get a handle on the solutions, we have to face the hard facts of what happened. Let's walk through the devastating events of that day on Interstate 70. I want you to imagine this for a second. You're sitting in stopped traffic on the interstate. Annoying, but normal. Then you glance in your rearview mirror and you see an 80,000-pound semi-truck, an absolute missile, bearing down on you, and it is not slowing down. That was the nightmare on I-70. The truck slammed into the line of cars, setting off this horrifying chain reaction. A school bus, a passenger car, all just engulfed in the chaos. The impact was so massive, it sparked a fire that consumed the wreckage. When it was all over, 6 people were gone. More than 40 were injured. The scale of the devastation is it's hard to even comprehend.
In the aftermath of something this horrific, the one question on everyone's mind is just, why? Why did this happen? The NTSB's best investigators hit the scene, piecing together every last detail to find the root cause.
And the conclusion they came to, honestly, it's as infuriating as it is tragic. It wasn't a mechanical failure. It wasn't the brakes, it wasn't the weather, it wasn't the road conditions. It was driver inattention. The driver just wasn't paying attention. It's that simple and that devastating.
But this is where the story takes an even darker turn. Because this wasn't just a momentary lapse, a simple mistake. Oh no, the NTSB's investigation uncovered a disturbing history, a pattern of reckless behavior that stretched back for years. This tragedy, it wasn't a lightning strike. It was a storm that had been brewing for a long, long time.
So let's look at the evidence the NTSB laid out. In just the 2 years leading up to the crash, while working for the same company, the driver had 3 major roadside inspections, and each one of them was a screaming red flag.
I mean, just look at this. This isn't a driving record, it's a rap sheet. March 2021, the truck gets pulled completely out of service for major brake issues. A year later, he's caught doing 75 in a 60 with a video game open on his phone. A video game. And just a couple months after that, he's caught swerving all over the road, having driven past his legal hours of service limit. These aren't little mistakes. These are giant, flashing, neon signs of a disaster in the making.
And if you can believe it, that's not even the whole story. That was just with one carrier. The NTSB kept digging, and the total number of incidents they found was 9. 9 separate traffic violations over the years. We're talking speeding, tailgating, completely ignoring traffic signs. This wasn't just a series of bad days. This was a clear, documented pattern of high-risk driving. And the scary part? It was all there in the records, hiding in plain sight.
Now, on top of all that, there was another layer. The investigation found the driver was also being treated for several chronic medical conditions. And look, this is not about shaming someone for their health, but it is about ensuring that the person behind the wheel of a 40-ton machine is medically fit for duty. It's just another piece of the compliance puzzle, another risk factor that seems to have been missed.
So let's just recap here. You've got vehicle maintenance failures, documented distracted driving, hours of service violations, a long history of tickets, and potential medical fitness issues. The red flags are everywhere.
So for all you professionals watching, the drivers, the fleet managers, I have a serious question for you. What's the single biggest hurdle you face in making sure a record like this never, ever slips through the cracks at your company? I really want to know. Drop a comment below because we absolutely need to be talking about this.
Okay, so we've seen the problem, it's ugly. Now, how do we stop this from happening again? Well, the NTSB didn't just point fingers, they pointed towards solutions. They issued a clear and urgent call for technology that can and will save lives.
Their recommendations are basically a three-point plan for a safer future. First, they want driver monitoring systems in all big trucks. Think of it like an electronic co-pilot that's always watching for distraction or drowsiness and gives an alert. Second, they're pushing for better collision avoidance systems. You know, the tech that sees a stopped car ahead and can literally hit the brakes for you. And third, they're telling the whole industry, from the big associations down, to get the word out about how effective these technologies are.
But here's the thing. Technology is great. It's a huge step forward, but it's not a silver bullet. The truth is, all the warning signs for this tragedy were already there, long before the crash. And that brings us to the real heart of the matter. A deep-seated culture of safety and a rock-solid commitment to compliance.
See, the driver in this case was operating in what you'd call a reactive safety world. Problems only got attention after he got caught. A proactive culture is the exact opposite. It's the difference between cleaning up a spill and preventing it in the first place. And that's really what we focus on at LabWorks USA, helping carriers build that proactive mindset. It's about constant HOS monitoring, rigorous vehicle maintenance, and a comprehensive drug and alcohol program. It's about building a system that stops these problems before they can ever lead to a tragedy.
So yeah, true safety isn't just about installing some fancy new gadget in the cab, it's a daily commitment. It's about knowing your drivers, managing their records, and making sure that every single DOT and FMCSA rule is followed every single day. It's about weaving this strong safety net of compliance that catches people and problems before they fall.
So let's get real for a second. What does a strong safety culture actually look like day to day? It's more than just a rule book sitting on a shelf, right? It's about communication, it's about training, it's about a shared belief that getting everyone home safe is the most important job. I'm genuinely curious. For those of you in the industry, what does a strong safety culture look like where you work? Let us know in the comments.
All right, let's start to bring this all together. We've been through some heavy stuff, but it's crucial that we distill these hard lessons into a clear path forward for everyone in this industry. So if we're gonna honor the victims of this preventable tragedy, here are the three big takeaways. 1. Acknowledge the pattern. Realize that massive disasters are almost always preceded by a string of smaller compliance failures. 2. Embrace the tech. These new safety systems work, and we need to support them. And 3, and this is the big one, build a proactive culture. Make comprehensive compliance the absolute foundation of everything you do. You know, our trucks are getting smarter every single year. The technology is amazing, but what about us? The real question for the future is, as our trucks get smarter, how do we make sure our safety culture keeps pace? That's the challenge for every driver, every carrier, and every single one of us who shares the road.
Thank you for sticking with us through this really important conversation. I know this isn't easy stuff to talk about, but it's absolutely essential if we want to create a safer future. If you found this explainer valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe to the LabWorks USA channel. And please, share this video. You never know who needs to see it. Together, we really can make a difference. Stay safe out there.